and again, often at meals, that he was the one who came into the world to save it, not to condemn it. That he was the one that came into the world for the sinners, not for the righteous. And for some reason, we continue to forget that. We tend to think that God comes to us when we're dressed up and have all of our ducks in a row. But the truth is more that God appears to us in the messiness of life, and not necessarily to clean it all up, but to sit there with us, to walk through it with us. So when the enormity of that gap between who I am and who I really should be, between how we are and how we really should be, dawns on us, look also and listen also for the grace of God. Not to wave a magic wand or to snap a finger to make us different, but look for the grace of God to surprise you with acceptance and forgiveness and a desire to be in relationship with you. The gospel stories that we've heard during this Easter season point to this as the risen Christ's MO, method of operation, the pattern of Christ, appearing in the gap between who we are, who we want to be, and who we really could be. The Easter story, the Easter morning story, Jesus appears to Mary Magdalene, spent from grief. Easter evening, Jesus appears to the huddled, fearful disciples locked in behind closed doors and says, "Peace be with you." Thomas, doubtful, missed the boat the first week, wasn't there. Jesus appears to him the second chance and says, "Thomas, see me and touch me." Two disciples left on the road to Emmaus, broke off from the main group, were disappointed, crushed, and Jesus appears as a stranger with them, teaches them, eats with them. We do not see the risen Jesus appearing to paragons of virtue, perfection, inner peace, or glad and generous hearts. Rather, he appears to people who are sorrowful, fearful, doubtful, confused, disappointed, and that deserves a thanks be to God if you are not a paragon of perfection, inner peace, and generosity. It also deserves a thanks be to God that although Jesus meets them there, huddled in fear, grief-stricken, despairing, he does not leave them there. For each of them, he proves to be the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd who leads them into abundant life. For Mary Magdalene, that looked like a calling, a mission, a purpose. We call her the apostle to the apostles. That was what abundant life looked like for Mary Magdalene. For the fearful community huddled behind the locked doors, abundant life looked like courage and forgiveness, a breath of peace that was now their gift to share. For Thomas, abundant life looked like having enough evidence and assurance, finally, to surrender himself in faith. And so he knelt at the feet of Jesus and said, "My Lord and my God." For those two breakaway disciples who were disappointed by God and the rest of the group, Abundant life looked like a measure of enlightenment and an encounter with Jesus in the hospitality of a stranger that was enough to send them right back to rejoin their community. I've come that they may have life and have it abundantly, Jesus said. And that is the role of the Good Shepherd, to lead us into abundant life. All over the world today, Christians of different denominations are focusing on that image of the Good Shepherd. Truth be told, the image did nothing for me. I just didn't connect with it until I went through the training for the Catechesis of the Good Shepherd program. So how glorious it is for me to know that here in this parish you have the Catechesis of the Good Shepherd program. And what did it for me was hearing the way the Good Shepherd is presented to the children in Catechesis of the Good Shepherd. We present the story to the children and read them the Good Shepherd passage, including the gospel we heard today, and use a special material, a small sheepfold replica, a wooden shepherd, and some wooden sheep. And we tell the story. We explain that when people were asking Jesus, "Who are you?" one of the ways he used to describe himself was to talk about the Good Shepherd, that he was the Good Shepherd. And with the children, we talk about shepherds. They care for the sheep. They protect the sheep. They make sure that sheep have all that they need. And we wonder with the children about the love this shepherd must have for his sheep. The shepherd knows them by name, each of them, and feeds them. When they're hurt or sick, the shepherd tends to them. What love the shepherd has for the sheep. But there is one thing we never say directly to the children. We never say to them, "Now you know you're the sheep. People are sheep. Jesus is the Good Shepherd. You and I are the sheep." We never say that to them, because that is theirs to discover on their own. We might say, "I wonder who those sheep are. I wonder how they feel to be so loved by that Good Shepherd." When the light bulb goes on and they make the connection, "I'm one of the sheep," it is a sacred, holy moment, and you want to take your shoes off because it's holy ground. I remember when my daughter, who's now 12, was 4, Emily, and she came up to me and almost tugged at my coat and said, "We're the sheep," with big eyes. We're the sheep. The story goes from being an out there story to being a story that's mine, a story that's theirs. So Psalm 23 becomes their own song. The Lord is my shepherd, so I will have all that I need. I will have all the rest and food and safety that I require because the Lord is my shepherd. People of God, part of what we are about as the church is gathering Sunday after Sunday and hearing the stories again and again until we realize that they are our stories. That the story of resurrection is